Black women. A couple of years ago, I had an opportunity to watch the original one-week series of Roots. And one of the scenes in that series that stood out to me the most, the one that held me captive emotionally, was when the protagonist, Kunta Kinte, was being hosted up by his hands. And he was being whipped into giving up his identity as Kunta Kinte, a proud West African black man. He held on to it for as long as he could, with every lash that slashed across his black skin. From the overseer, he held on as much as he could. But that last crack across his back broke him. And he gave up his identity as Kunta Kinte, and he became Toby, a worthless slave with no value except labor until he's dead. The man fought for his freedom, but when it was all said and done, his foot was cut off in half. One foot, one chop, and he was forever crippled. Black women, does that sound familiar? We are being forced to share our black female identity with those that are outside of our black community. Now, anybody can be called an African American woman. That takes away our identity of what it means to be, and let's call it for what it is, a true Negro woman. I was looking at Paris Milan's channel, and by the way, you should go there. I like a lot of the work that she does. She's very informative. But she has a video that is talking about Tank and his mixed race wife on the cover of Black Bride magazine. And I, like her, had a serious thought about that. And I want to speak on it. Let's get one thing straight, black women. What makes a black person is a black man and a black woman. Nothing more, nothing less. Like it or leave it. Every human being has 46 chromosomes. You get 23 from your mother and 23 from your father. You are split down the middle. Like it or not. If you have a black mother or a black father and a non-black mother or a black father, you are not black, or the other, you are mixed race. Like it or not. Black women, I adamantly, emphatically refuse to share my black identity as a black African American woman with someone that is not full-blooded. And I say that 100% on a serious note, unapologetically. Take it or leave it. Black women, Black men are taking our identity and they are giving it to outsiders. I find that to be a moral and ethical crime against Black women. Black women, it is for our own benefit now and for the future Black women who are the little Black girls today. We must take back our identity or be lost forever. Why does this matter? Why am I saying this? Well, Black women, let's look at it like this. What if you're applying for a scholarship for African American students? And a mixed race person applies for it, especially one that can pass for white, but it's to their benefit to be Black because there's a reward. You see, you have a lot of mixed race people that don't look Black and they don't let anyone know, and they only admit it or use it if it's to their benefit, such as getting a scholarship that is meant for an African American. And an African American is one that has an African American mother and an African American father. Like it or not, take it or leave it. I refuse to share my Black identity as an African American woman with an outsider. I spoke about this before, Black women. In the future, there's going to be two communities. The Black community will be small and dwindle down. Right now, we're 14% of the Black, we're 14% population of the American population, 14%. By 2070, it wouldn't surprise me if we dwindle down to 6%. But the mixed race community is going to grow. It's going to flourish. It's going to breed in this country. And we have to do whatever we can to maintain our African heritage, our Black female identity. Let me tell you something, Black women. When you've lost everything in your life, I don't care if it's your legs, your eyes, your arms, I don't care if you've lost your mind. If the only thing you have left is your identity, and that's taken from you, you are nothing. Nothing. You don't count, you don't matter, you're not important. And that is what Black men are doing right now. This is a meticulous move to replace us and wipe us out. Black women, I think we need to do something about this, and quickly. And this is what I propose. The 2020 census, I believe, is quickly approaching. How about pushing a change.org campaign called Take Back Your Identity to fight to get an additional ethnic category added to the census? FBAA, full-blooded African American. I think that's a pretty good idea, but I don't want to make a move without the support of my fellow Black sisters. I want you to let me know at the comments, in the comment section, let me know. Should we be forced to share our Black identity or form our own? FBAA, full-blooded African American. Let me know what you think. Oh, and by the way, I think it would behoove us a great deal to boycott Black Bride magazine. The CEO is Mary Chapman. She needs to be fired. That's all.